arrives here with questions for Honey. The interviewers will be Gunnar Hamrick and Ellie Hamrick, and we will ask a series of questions for grandmother Honey. Now, our first question is, what was it like growing up in Tennessee?
It was really fun growing up in Tennessee. I actually went to kindergarten, which was one of the only kindergartens around back in the day, and it was in a log cabin. Then I went to, we called it grammar school, first through 5th grade in one school, and then 6th and 7th, and we moved over to a different school, and then I moved to down here to Carrollton, and I was the oldest grandchild until my brother Jimmy was born. So for 4 years, I was the only grandchild, and I had I had 2 grandmothers and 2 great-grandmothers that lived there, and I had a lot of great aunts who lived there that didn't have any children. So I was had a lot of attention. It was a lot of
You
fun.
watching that, baby?
Very interesting. Now,
Could you please keep your answers?
I was short in my answers.
No, we like it.
All right. Next question.
Was very interesting.
now let's pass it on to Gunter.
All right.
How do you feel about technology today compared to when you grew up? What did you do?
Actually, we didn't have
How
much
did you feel about
technology.
technology? What did you do without TV?
We didn't have much technology. We didn't even have a TV, but we played outside and we played games inside, did our homework and all that kind of stuff.
Question number 3. Did you play any sports? If so, what sports did you play?
I played a lot of sports. I played anything that was available. We had, growing up in grade school, we had volleyball and basketball. And when I was in high school, the only thing that was offered was basketball. So I played basketball. That's because girls didn't get to do sports much.
Cheerleading is a sport these days, remember?
What?
Did you cheer?
I
Hey,
cheered. That's a sport.
it's on there. Just
Oh, okay.
hold your horses.
How did you meet Willem and where?
Well, Willem grew up on the street that I lived on in Carrollton, and I always knew him. And we were really good friends before we had a date. We were old when we had a date. He'd already graduated from college and come back to Carrollton to work, and I was at West Georgia College.
Okay, next question. How did you spend your summers?
Well, when I was in college, I was a lifeguard at the city pool every summer. And before that, I just spent my summers having a good time. Going to the lake. We went to Lake Carroll a lot. We did a lot of water skiing.
Okay. When did you move to Carrollton, and why did you move to Carrollton and not Atlanta?
Well, I moved to Carrollton when I was 13, and I was going to be in the 8th grade that year. And I moved because my daddy worked for a company called General Shoe, and he got transferred down here. He got moved down here, so our family moved down here.
Okay. Come on. What was it like growing up with 4 brothers?
Ooh, that was really something. It's a good thing I was the oldest and the biggest, you know, so I could defend myself.
No, I'll talk about my day, okay?
But it was really interesting.
Now I talk about my day, okay?
It was really interesting when I was dating because my boyfriends would come to answer the door when my date came, and they would say, so-and-so, last night, so-and-so brought me candy.
That's funny.
Okay, next question. Let's see. Sorry.
Gunner.
You want to talk about your day?
Yes, she did.
Gunner, this is. You have another question.
She wanted me to move.
Huh?
What were your parents like?
Well, what were they like? My mother stayed at home, and my daddy worked at General Shoe, and my mother tended to all those 4 boys and me and cooked a lot, and she sewed a lot, so she made my clothes. So she stayed busy working at home, and Daddy stayed busy working at General Shoe. They were good parents.
Next question. What was Daddy like when he was a child? And we mean Bo.
What was Daddy Bo like? Well, he was always a lot of fun, and he was always very, very active.
Okay, next question. Gunner. What was Did you have a pet growing up?
We had quite a few pets. We usually had dogs, and actually, most of the time they were Cocker Spaniels, and my favorite one was named Mr. Baker.
Okay, what was your favorite food growing up?
You know, I've always liked most any food. Yeah, we didn't even have pizza when I was growing up. We didn't have it till I was in high school, so I didn't know about pizza. Just good old food, just fried chicken and macaroni and all that kind of stuff.
What was your favorite candy?
Ooh, my favorite candy. Let me think. Probably homemade fudge.
Okay, next question. Was it scary when you went to college?
No, not really. I went to West Georgia College, so it was right here in Carrollton. And I liked it a lot from the beginning. And I was a cheerleader, and so I worked out there in the bookstore and in the post office, and so I got to know a lot of people. It was fun. No, it wasn't scary.
Okay. Let's see. What was your favorite name? What is your full name?
My full name is Dorothy Frances Sullivan Hamrick.
And how did you come up with the nickname Dottie?
I've always been called Dottie. My mama came up with that. My mother and daddy came up with that nickname. My mother's sister's name was Dottie Sue. So I was named for my mother's sister. She was called Dottie Sue, but I've always... A lot of people in my kinfolks call me Dottie Frances.
Okay, next question. Who was
Rocket
your
because I'm jealous.
favorite family member growing up?
Oh, my favorite family member. I don't think I can pick out a favorite. I had a lot of good family members and a lot of good memories with my aunts and my grandmothers.
Okay, Gunner. Why did you like polka dots? Polka. Why do you like polka
What do you?
dots?
I just like them. I think they're happy, cheerful. Yeah, I like them. I just like
polka
them.
dots.
Okay.
Why did you like polka dots?
And then, how did you guys start calling your grandmother Honey?
I don't know. And I'm the one that started it, but nobody ever remembers. I just started calling her Honey.
Okay. So this is a question. How did No, Ellie, this is I know, but no. We already asked that. So Ellie, you wrote Stop it. Just do it again. How did you know Willem was the one? Okay, that was actually Ellie.
convertible. It was really good looking. And it was light blue on the bottom and dark blue on the top. That might have had a little bit to do with it.
Okay, and then how did he propose?
He came and knocked on my door on Christmas Eve, and I opened the door, and he had a ring and a box, and he said, "Here."
It was romantic. That was very romantic. What house was this?
Over on
You can't
City
get away with
Street.
that nowadays.
I knew he'd already asked me.
She
So.
just lived about 5 houses up, 5
Yeah.
or 6 houses up.
It's okay. This is how you're in charge of this.
How did you decide to make more to move to
Heritage Hills.
Heritage Hill?
Heritage Hills. Well, the main reason was we had the